Hello guys, welcome to the session Sourcing and Procurement Overview Part 2. In this session, we will discuss about master data and what are the different types of master data used in SAP Material Management. So this is second introductory session about master data. We will discuss later each master data separately, how to map and configure it into SAP system. For now, let's clear some basics. So let's start. Master data, so called as reference data. If you have seen my previous video, I have given an example of procurement. So while doing a procurement, first we need to create a purchase order. In that, we need to enter material, vendor, and price. So all this information comes from master data. So material regarding information comes from material master data. It comes from vendor master data, and price related information comes from purchasing info record. So we will see the different types of master data used in material management. So master data, it is the base for any transaction which includes the information like product description, vendor information, customer name, and accounting information. So master data is any information that is considered to play a key role in the core operation of business. So master data may include data about client and customer. It includes information regarding the inventory, supplier, employees, and much more. So this master data is typically shared by multiple user and group across an organization and is stored on a different system. So we'll see what are the different types of master data used in SAP Material Management. So the first one is Material Master Data. See, this name itself indicate all the information regarding the material we enter in Material Master. So Material Master contains all the data required to define and manage the material in a single platform. What is single platform? See, in a company there are different departments. So different department in a company work with the same material, but each department uses the different information on the material. For example, we have a purchasing department. So this purchasing department use this material master for ordering purpose, procurement related activity. For sales and distribution, it requires for sales order processing activity. For a production planning and control, it requires for MRP, material requirement planning, or scheduling, work scheduling. Like that, each department uses this information. So each department has its own view of material master record. So let's say in system, so to create the material master record, T code is MM01. If we put this T code, this will appear. Here we need to enter a material, industry sector, and material type. So when we create a material master, it is required to classify the material according to the industry sector and material type. So what is industry sector? There are different industry sector in SAP like pharmaceutical, mechanical, chemical, construction. Or if we want to create our own industry sector as per our uses which satisfies our needs, so we can create that one. Now, for example, let's say our company belongs to chemical industry. So we select the industry sector chemical industry. So the field that appear on the screen will not be same as for a mechanical engineering company. So this industry sector tells which particular industry the company belongs to, and accordingly that we can configure a material master record based on the industry sector. The next is material type. If you have seen a manufacturing company, So there are different types of material like raw material, semi-finished good, finished good, like that. So this material type groups together all the material having same attributes. So all the material with same attributes we assign to material type. So as per that we can create a material type, and it allows to manage a different material in uniform manner in accordance with company's requirements. So material is assigned to industry sector and material type. Now, once we assign the industry sector material, then we cannot change industry sector afterwards. Remember that. Now we will see what are the different views. So once we enter the material, industry sector and material type, then click on this select view. So we will get these different views in material management. See, now this MRP, material requirement planning, forecasting, work scheduling. So all this information we needed in production planning. Then for sales order processing, so sales order organization data one, two, this required for sales order processing in sales and distribution. For procurement purpose, we required purchasing. So if we if we don't maintain this view, then we cannot create a purchase order. So this is required for procurement related activity. Then this accounting and costing view is required for finance. Then this quality management. So like that, we have different views in Material Master. Next, Vendor Master. So like that, in Material Master, we contain all the information regarding material. In Vendor Master, we record all the information regarding the vendor. So it is the basic transaction for processing and purchasing. And the vendor master database contains information about the vendor that supplies an enterprise. So before going to actual SAP, we'll see first one small concept, business partner. So this business partner, it is the single point of entry where all the master data is managed. Here we create a general data like name, address, and communication data, all the information regarding the vendor or customer. So what is the purpose of this business partner and why it is mandatory now? If you have seen in SAP ECC, so before it is not mandatory, but now in S4 HANA, this business partner is mandatory. We cannot create a customer or a vendor without business partner. So this is a mandatory, and this is not new concept. So the transaction is BP. If we put this transaction, this screen will appear and we have to select one of them. We want a business partner for person, organization, or a group. So generally while creating a customer or vendor, we select organization. So a business partner can be a person or organization or a group of person that in group in which a company has a business interest. So we'll see what are the different segments in vendor master or in customer master. See, in both cases, we observe that here is also general data, and in the customer also is also general data. So purpose of this business partner, if we create a one BP, then we can activate a different role for that customer. So we don't need to create again and again this business partner which is same for all the business partner function. So we can use same business partner for a different application. So one BP can have customer role in customer master data and vendor role in vendor master, like that. One BP can have multiple roles. So we'll see vendor master here. So first we will create a business partner, that is the general data. Then we extend a business partner to company code and purchasing organization. So we'll see. First, we will create a business partner. Here we will enter the general data. The transaction code is BP. If we put this T code, this screen will appear. Here we have to select organization for creating the customer or vendor. We select organization, and here we have to create a business partner, that is general data. Here we enter the name of the company, then vendor address, street address, the country, region, postal code, city. So all the basic information regarding the vendor we put in general data. And once we create a general data, then we will extend that BP role. So when we enter this T code, so here we will give a, he'll ask, system will ask, choose the role in which we want to create a business partner. So we'll create a first organization, then we enter all the basic information regarding the vendor, and then we will extend the role to finance vendor. See, here we have seen, first we need to create a general data, that is BP. Then we'll extend the role to company code, that comes under the finance and purchasing organization. So let's see. So once we have created a BP, then we will extend a role to finance. Here we will see the we will assign the reconciliation account and accounting related terms like payment terms and conditions. We will see all these finance related term. What is the reconciliation account, and what are the different terms in purchasing, different terms in finance. So all the finance related information we enter here. Then we extend a role to vendor for purchasing related. Here we click on this purchasing. If once we extend the role to purchasing, we click on this purchasing, then this screen will appear. Here we need to enter order currency, payment terms, purchasing organization. So all the information regarding the purchase we enter here. So there are three segments in business partner. The first one is general data. Uh, there are three segments in vendor master. First one is general data, that is BP. Second is company code. Here we assign the company code and reconciliation account. And third one is purchasing organization. Here we assign purchasing organization and the payment terms and conditions. So once we have enter all the information, so we'll save this master record, and system will automatically assign a unique number for vendor. So that's all about vendor master data. We will discuss in detail later when we do actual configuration of the system. The next is source list. So whenever we procure a material, we have different sources, different vendor. So we assign all the possible source of supply in the source list. So source list is list of all possible source of supply for the material. For example, I have a material A, which can be procured from vendor 1, vendor 2, vendor 3, and vendor 4. So all the possible source of supply we assign in source list. So purpose of source list is we can also fix the vendor. For example, whenever I want to purchase a particular material from a particular source only. So for example, this material I want to always buy from vendor 1. So I can fix the source of supply. So like we'll see in SAP. So the T code to create the source list is ME01. So if we put this T code, this screen will appear. Here we need to enter a material and plant. Then here we can give a validity period. So from specific period for this vendor, we want to fix a source. So we can give validity period for the particular source, or we can also block the source if you want to block the source for a particular time. So if we can take here, this is for fix and this is for a block, and here we can provide the duration. Here we can provide the vendor number, purchasing organization. So the purpose of source list is to fix the vendor or to block the vendor, and we assign all the possible source of supply in source list. Next is quota arrangement. Now, if a material can be obtained from various source of supply, so each individual source of supply can be allocated a quota arrangement. So this quota arrangement is valid for a certain period of time and specifies exactly how these receipts are to be distributed amongst each source of supply. So basically it prioritizes the vendor for certain period of time. For example, wheels in SAP. So the T code to create a quota arrangement is MEQN. In ME01, we have assigned all the possible source of supply. For example, in ME01, we have assigned, let's say this is a material having the three vendor 1, vendor 2, and vendor 3. And I want to procure a quantity 100. So I can prioritize the vendor. So I can give 30% should be procured from vendor 1, 20% from vendor 2, and remaining 50% from vendor 3. So 30 quantity will be 30% of this quantity 100. So 30 quantity will be procured from vendor 1, 20 quantity from vendor 2, and remaining 50 quantity from vendor 3. So like that we can prioritize the vendor for the particular duration. Here we can provide the validity from to validity 2. You can see here. So this is when we can use this percentages. If if there is a minimum split quantity is 100, then I can give the priority like that. Or also, and second case, quota rating. So as per the quota rating, so the formula for quota rating is allocated quantity plus base quantity divided by quota. So how we calculate the quota rating, we'll see in detail in the next video when we'll do actual configuration in the system. For now, we just remember in quota arrangement, the first we can, if we have here maintain a minimum split quantity. So when we're doing a procurement, if this quantity minimum quantity is 100, I have given for example here. So if minimum quantity is 100, then I can allocate the quota like that. Or the second case, I can also allocate the quota by quota rating. So how this quota rating is calculated, what is the allocated quantity, what is the base quantity, we'll discuss later. This is not quantity, sorry, actually this is a quota. So we'll discuss in detail in the next video. Then purchasing info record. So all the price related information, all the conditions be stored in purchasing info record. So it is used to store the information on specific material and vendor who is supplying that material. So let's see in system. So T code to create a purchasing info record is ME11. If we put this T code here, this screen will appear. So this purchasing info record is combination of material and vendor. So what is the price for the material for that particular vendor? We can enter here. Here we can also provide the uh, reminder. So this is first, second reminder, third reminder. So this is the number of days that message output via email can be sent to vendor for the material delivery. We can enter here, and we can enter all the pricing and conditions related data here. Here you can see this is the gross price, what is the discount, what is the freight charges. We can enter in purchasing info record, and we can also set for the particular duration. So this data is valid from this duration. Here we assign the vendor, material, purchasing organization, and plant. Now here we can also give a scale. For example, if we order a 50 quantity, then the price will be 85. If we order more than 50 quantity and less than 80, in between 50 to 80, then the price will be 82. If you order more than 110, then price will be 78. So we can provide the scales here. Okay. And second is we can also provide the validity period. So for example, during this period the price will be 100 rupees, or like that we can provide the validity period, and as per that price will be changed. So that is all about purchasing info record. And the next is service master. So like we have different types of services, maintenance services or repairing. So this service master contains all the information regarding the external services which we provide. So we can, if there are certain services which you use regularly, so we can save that, so that it can enable us to save the time and reduces the frequency of error, since we need only only enter the complete service description in the service master record once. So we can create our the standard services in service master. So in service master we record all the description of the services is stored, which is used again and again and in various business transaction. So that's all about master data. I have given just an overview about master data. In next video we'll discuss one separately each master data, how to map and configure it into SAP system, what are the number ranges, and what are the different fields we need to enter. That's the we stop here. This is the second introductory session about master data. So guys, if you have any doubt, you can ask us. This is your mail ID. So guys, please like, share, and subscribe. Thank you.